Picture this. A 14-year-old girl stands in a courtroom, facing a judge who will decide her fate. She's been sexually abused, bounced between relatives, and just gave birth to a baby who died shortly after. The system has failed her. Her family has failed her. By every measure, this young girl should become another statistic, another casualty of poverty and abuse. But what that judge didn't know, what nobody in that room could possibly imagine, was that this broken teenager would one day become the most powerful woman in media. Her name, Oprah Winfrey. This is the story of how a girl born into crushing poverty, who couldn't even afford shoes, rose to become a billionaire whose influence changed millions of lives forever. January 29, 1954, Kosciuszko, Mississippi. Oprah Gail Winfrey enters the world under circumstances that would break most people before they even began. Her teenage mother, Vernita, was unmarried and unprepared. Her father was absent. Oprah's name was supposed to be Orpah, after the biblical character, but the midwife couldn't spell it correctly on the birth certificate. Even her identity started with a mistake. For the first 6 years of her life, Oprah lived with her grandmother on a pig farm so poor that she wore dresses made from potato sacks. The other children at school mocked her relentlessly. But her grandmother, Hattie Mae, taught her something that would change everything: how to read. By age 3, Oprah was reading the Bible aloud in church. People called her a miracle child, but the miracle was about to turn into a nightmare. At 6, she was sent to live with her mother in Milwaukee. What should have been a reunion became a horror story, their mother working long hours as a housekeeper. Oprah was left with relatives and family friends who sexually abused her repeatedly. The abuse started when she was 9 and continued for years. She tried to tell someone, nobody believed her. At 13, she ran away from home, sleeping on the streets, stealing money just to survive. When she was caught, she was sent to a juvenile detention center, but there wasn't even room for her there. That's when she found herself in that courtroom at 14, pregnant and desperate. The baby died 2 weeks after birth. Oprah later said it was probably the best thing that could have happened. She was unready to be a mother, and it gave her a second chance at life. But here's where most stories like this end in tragedy. Oprah's was just beginning. The judge made a decision that day that changed everything. Instead of sending her to another foster home, he sent her to live with her father, Vernon Winfrey, in Nashville, Tennessee. Vernon was strict. He gave Oprah something she'd never had: structure, discipline, and most importantly, the belief that she could be more than her circumstances. He made her read a book every week and write a report on it. He wouldn't let her go to the movies until her homework was done. When other kids were playing, Oprah was studying. Vernon didn't just want her to survive. He expected her to excel, and excel she did. In high school, she was an honor student, student council president, and voted most popular girl. But the real breakthrough came when she started working at a local radio station, WVOL, while still in high school. Her voice, that distinctive, warm, powerful voice, captivated listeners. At 17, she became the youngest news anchor and the first African-American female news anchor at Nashville's WLAC-TV. But success came with a price. The station wanted her to change everything about herself, her appearance, her style, even her name. They wanted her to be less ... Oprah. She tried to conform. She straightened her hair, changed her wardrobe, attempted to fit into their mold of what a news anchor should be, and she was miserable. Then came another turning point. In 1976, she was offered a job co-hosting a morning talk show in Baltimore called People Are Talking. It was considered a demotion from news anchor, and everyone told her not to take it, but something inside her said yes. The moment she sat down across from her first guest, something magical happened. This wasn't just television. This was connection. Real, raw, human connection. She could be herself. Emotional, empathetic, unafraid to show vulnerability. The show became a hit, but Oprah knew she was capable of more. In 1984, she made the boldest move of her life. She left Baltimore for Chicago to host a struggling local talk show called AM Chicago. Everyone said she was crazy. Chicago was a tough market. The show was failing. She was competing against Phil Donahue, the king of daytime television. But within months, AM Chicago was the #1 talk show in Chicago. Within a year, it was renamed The Oprah Winfrey Show. September 8, 1986, The Oprah Winfrey Show went national, and television was never the same. But this wasn't just another talk show. Oprah didn't just interview celebrities or sensationalize scandals. She talked about real issues: abuse, addiction, racism, spirituality, self-improvement. She made it okay for people to be vulnerable, to share their pain, to seek healing. Her show became a cultural phenomenon. At its peak, it reached 10 million viewers daily in the United States and was broadcast in 149 countries worldwide. The financial success was staggering. In 1988, she founded Harpo Productions, becoming the first African-American woman to own her own television and film production company. By taking control of her show's production, she transformed herself from employee to mogul. Forbes listed her as the world's first African-American female billionaire in 2003. But the money was never the point. It was the platform. She launched careers, transformed lives, and changed conversations. Authors who appeared on her show saw their books become instant bestsellers. The Oprah effect became a real economic phenomenon. She opened a school for disadvantaged girls in South Africa. She gave away cars, houses, scholarships. She donated hundreds of millions to education and charitable causes. But perhaps most importantly, she showed millions of people, especially women of color, that their stories mattered, that their pain could become their power, that their voices deserved to be heard. When the Oprah Winfrey Show ended in 2011, after 25 years, she had won dozens of Emmy Awards, received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and built a media empire worth billions. So what can we learn from Oprah's incredible journey? First, your circumstances don't define your destiny. Oprah could have let poverty, abuse, and rejection defeat her. Instead, she used her pain as fuel for her purpose. Every setback became a setup for a comeback. Second, authenticity is your superpower. When Oprah stopped trying to be what others wanted her to be and started being fully herself, that's when she truly succeeded. Your uniqueness isn't your weakness, it's your strength. Third, service amplifies success. Oprah didn't just pursue fame and fortune for their own sake. She used her platform to serve others, to heal, to inspire. When your success serves something bigger than yourself, it becomes unstoppable. Fourth, mentorship matters. Vernon Winfrey's belief in his daughter changed everything. Find mentors who see your potential even when you can't see it yourself. And once you succeed, become that mentor for someone else. Finally, never underestimate the power of storytelling. Oprah understood that everyone has a story worth telling. She gave people permission to share their truth, to be vulnerable, to heal through connection. Your story isn't over. Maybe you're facing your own courtroom moment right now, broke, rejected, counted out by everyone, including yourself. But remember, the same power that transformed a teenage girl from rural Mississippi into the most influential woman in media lives inside you, too. The question isn't whether you have what it takes. The question is, what will you do with what you have? Your breakthrough is waiting. Your audience is waiting. Your purpose is waiting. The world needs your story. The world needs your voice. The world needs you. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for perfect circumstances. Stop waiting for the pain to go away. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Your Oprah moment is coming. Are you ready to claim it?